great win at home. Proud of our kids. Uh, Sam Houston's a really good team has obviously had a lot of success this year, and just you can see why just because their style of play just um, their defense is their best offense. The way they rebound, the way they turn you over, the way they get to the free throw line. I mean, those three things have been their biggest strengths all year, and certainly showed tonight. But I thought our kids did a really good job, handling the pressure. Obviously, we had a ton of turnovers, but we put ourselves in a position early where we commanded the game, and it was a matter of kind of weathering the storm there late. At some point they're gonna make a run. They're gonna do that to you. So just kind of have to weather the storm, and proud of our kids for uh, for digging out a big win here at home.
So, all right, you lost the first one at home. You won the next two. You got another quick turnaround for Thursday. I know you're not the biggest momentum believer, but what do you do to your kids to say, all right, we did good. Now we got to do it again one more time for our last home game?
Well, I mean, at this point, that really is what you're preaching. It's the mental over the physical. At this point in the season, and just in general, that's what separates you. So just keep trying to hammer this sense of urgency we have to have. Got to tighten some things up. I mean, stylistically, FIU is playing really well and playing very similar to kind of like Sam Houston, to be honest. It's going to be a very up and down game, a physical game. Is our first conference win of the season, which, at the time you don't realize. I always say, I mean, all the wins are big, but you don't realize at the time how big that win was, on the road to start conference play. And we haven't seen them for a while, haven't had a lot of crossover in terms of scouting opponents. So really, my assistants have been working on it, but I'll really dive into it tonight and tomorrow. And we'll come out ready to go. I mean, I know our kids would much rather play right now than practice. So, it's coming in tomorrow, and um, mentally understanding what we have to do. And it's going to be another really tough physical game on Thursday.
Second game in a row, Wayne leads the way, leading scorer. How important is it for this team, stylistically or just velocity wise, that the inside game does what it needs to do best?
Well, it's huge for us. I feel like in a game like this, certainly they're playing a lot of 4 and 5 guard lineups, and you can look out there and think, worry about matchups and how are we going to guard. But I felt like if we could handle their pressure, and if our guards could do what they needed to do, and we could get down on our offense, I felt like that would be a huge advantage for us. And I think our guards did a really good job of that. Maisha was awesome in terms of facilitating from the high post, and just understanding and reading the high low. She did a great job tonight. I mean, played 30 minutes, has one turnover. Just facilitated for us. Was able to score. She was kind of the calm in the storm at times. I mean, that's just how she is. And so, I definitely thought that needed to be our advantage. It's just a matter of could we get there and do it. And so certainly if we were able to, and I think that's a big reason. Obviously, we came out on top.
Does it alarm you at all? Does it ever bother you or keep you up at night when these kind of things happen where you have a double digit lead and then it does shrink down? You hold on to win, but obviously you like to have a smoother cruise control landing, right?
Well, the good thing is, we finished the game. I think our game at their place, we had a 12-point lead. We didn't finish the game. We had a lead at La Tech, and we didn't finish it. We were right there in both. So for us to kind of take that next step, and this is, our last two games, we finished games. So I don't think it's a matter of, I get worried about it. Just you have to tighten some things up, and we've done a few things that I think we've learned from and probably grown from that have caused us to be on the short end of the stick. And I think just let's not beat ourselves. Let's do some things and not beat ourselves. So I told our team afterwards, biggest difference this game to last game. We had 28 turnovers. We only had 26 tonight. That could be the difference in the game right there. So that was progress.
In the name of progress, I know you can't control free throw percentage, you can't control turnover percentage, but what do you say to it? What do you say to your girls and not turn the ball over that much? I mean,
Well, I think we needed to make some better decisions at times, and just recognizing which it's easier said than done. You've got you know some great defenders out there that, I mean, that's why they've had the success they've had this year. It's just what they've caused and wreaked havoc on other teams. And so, there were times when Kone's guarding Macy, and somebody else could have helped facilitate. And then, with their matchups and how they scramble kind of out of their press and their press break, then there were times where maybe Kone was on Kamen, and we didn't recognize that when then Macy could have helped bring it. So I think it's just in those moments. But we get a chance to play them again, those will be things that we'll certainly look at. And it's hard to prepare for a team like this when you have such a quick turnaround. But then even if you do have a big turnaround, stylistically, you can't get the guys to come in and play the way they play. And so I think a lot of it's kind of learning as we go, to be honest.
This was a big game because this game and your last three are all going to be against teams right in front of you for that race for those top four seeds. I know there's not extra pressure on there, but do you say anything to your girls about putting emphasis on we got to win these games?
No, I think we're always trying to win every game, and so I don't think the emphasis is really any different than it's been all years. And we don't really talk about winning. We talk about here's all the things we need to do to give ourselves a chance to have an end result we want. And so, very rarely do I just say, "Hey, we need to win this game." I don't think I've said that all year. It's more, here's the game plan. Here's what we need to do to be successful. And I think emphasizing those things. And I'm a big believer in, I think our team knows if we take care of the things that we talk about, the end results um, usually take care of themselves. And I think we have enough talent in the room. We have enough in the room that if we focus on us and the things we need to do, that the end results have taken care of themselves. And then there's been times when we've come up a little short, and we understand why. So